Information Technology, Mr. Zhang Hong, Deputy Head of Wuhan Local Financial Bureau, Mr. Wei Shen, Chief Auditor of State Taxation Bureau, Wuhan Office, Mr. Shen Yonggang, Deputy Director of Hubei CDC, Mr. Li Yang. First, let's give the floor to Mr. Li Yang for the epidemic update in Hubei Province. As of May the 10th, 2020, total number of confirmed cases reported in Hubei stood at 68,134, 50,339 in Wuhan City, 17,795 in other cities. On May the 10th, 2020, number of new confirmed cases reported in Hubei Province, 5, all coming from Wuhan City. No imported cases reported in Hubei, except for Wuhan. Other cities in Hubei Province reported no new cases for 67 consecutive days. As of May the 10th, number of existing cases, 6, all from Wuhan City. 0 suspected cases in Hubei Province. Total deaths stood at 4,512. Total number of cured and discharged cases stood at 63,616. On May the 10th, 2020, number of newly added asymptomatic cases, 11. 5 cases developed into confirmed cases, 7 cases removed from quarantine. 650 asymptomatic patients are still under medical observation. Since of May the 9th, in Dongxihu district, we found 6 confirmed cases since then. The level of risk in Dongxihu has been adjusted to medium risk. This has shown that in Hubei Province, we still need to remain vigilant in prevention and control of the epidemic. We have to ensure that we can prevent imported infection and domestic resurgence, making sure that we are taking measures for normalizing prevention and control so that we can curb the domestic resurgence. We have to improve our awareness and mind our own hygiene and protection so that we can protect ourselves and our families. If we found any symptoms, including fever, coughing, and any respiratory symptoms, please seek medical support to local medical institutions. Thank you. Now let's give the floor to Mr. Zhang Hong to brief us the situation of work resumption for SMEs in service sectors in Wuhan. Good afternoon, everyone. Since the outbreak of COVID-19, the public has attached great importance to the work resumption for SMEs in Wuhan. With the guidance of the provincial government and the municipal government, we have doing a lot of work to boost the work resumption, make sure that we can restore the economic and the social development, so that we could see the work resumption is better than our expectation. For the work resumption for enterprises above designated size is 98.8%, and the employee return rate reached 97%. Among the 1.3 million market entities, we have 98% of them are SMEs, so it is very crucial for us to support business for the SMEs. We have to strengthen our synergies so that we can tide over difficulties together with the SMEs. We have to do the following work. First, we are focusing on the work resumption for the leading companies so that they can help to facilitate the work resumption for the SMEs. We have to stabilize our economy to accelerate the development of the industrial chain. We are focusing on the work resumption for 14 leading companies in Wuhan City. In early March, we have established a special task force, and this task force has visited those key enterprises. to understand the challenges faced by these enterprises for the work resumption. At the same time, we also issued policies and regulations to boost the work resumption for SMEs. So all of these documents and policies can clarify the responsibilities for these MCEs and also can help them to respond to the requirement for the provincial governments. And for the key enterprises, we are offering one-to-one services. By doing all of that, we can help them to bring their employees back to the enterprises. We are also providing a lot of work for the vehicle transportation. We are helping 2.6 million employees go back to their positions. For the 14 key enterprises, they are helping other facilitating enterprises coming back to their work. And the second, we are rolling out a lot of measures to lower the cost for these SMEs. We are formulating a series of measures to alleviate the burdens for the enterprises. At the same time, we are also provide a lot of financial and fiscal measures to improve the services to these companies. Altogether, we have rolled out 21 preferential measures. We are also lower the tax collection from the SMEs and also lower the insurance premium collection from those SMEs. We are also formulating a document to facilitate the work resumption for the SMEs. We are also offering a lot of interpretation and education to those MCEs. Right now, we have over 1.5 million workers already on their work position. We are also cutting the tax and the fees for these SMEs. As of the end of April, we have reduced the tax collection by 8.6 billion, and also we are cutting down the utility and electricity fees for the SMEs. For the Innovation Development Hub, we are also reducing the rental fees for those SMEs. At the same time, we are also investing 5.05 billion yuan as anti-epidemic fund. So we are helping all of those SMEs to resolve their financing difficulties and inject more liquidity to those companies. And also we are offering 18.7 billion yuan as the special fund to support the SMEs. As of now, we are offering support to a large amount of industrial enterprises. As of now, we are working together with 538 industrial enterprises, and the total issuance of the loans amounts to 4 billion yuan. And also, we are doing a lot of work to ease the financing difficulties for the SMEs. We have offered 48 loans to the SMEs. And also, we are providing a lot of support to the SMEs to expand their sales channels. We are formulating documents and regulations and to guide the government to use the industrial products. And also, we are forming a cluster for different kinds of SMEs to sell their products to the market. And also, we are formulating a catalog to promote the sales of the industrial products. We are also a series of seminars so that we can link the marketing and the sales. So government will offer the platform, and we will stabilize the supply chain, and we can accelerate the sales of these products. And fifth, we will improve the services to the SMEs so that we can accelerate the work resumptions. So the officials will go down to the SMEs and they will attend to the issues and challenges faced by these SMEs and resolve those problems. We have 1,200 officials going down to SMEs and collecting challenges and problems from these companies. So right now we have served over 8,600 enterprises, and we are improving our service system. We are providing guidance to the third-party enterprises to better serve the SMEs. It is estimated that by the end of this year, we will provide a variety of services to over 10,000 SMEs. We are offering a series of trainings and seminars to provide better services to the SMEs. Over 9,000 employees are benefiting from all of these webinars and the seminars. We are also promoting 119 information tools that can be used by the SMEs. SMEs is actually the foundation for Wuhan's economy. We have to focus on the pain points of the SMEs. In the future, we will continue to address the challenges for the SMEs. We will listen to their opinions, and we will continue to alleviate burdens for the enterprises. We will follow up closely on these SMEs. We will establish platforms to build better marketplace for these enterprises. We will make good use of the financing support so that we can accelerate the work resumption and development of these SMEs. Now is the Q&A session. Please identify yourself before you raise the question. Let's try a new service. In order to support the work resumption for SMEs in service sector in Wuhan, so what measures has been taken by the Wuhan municipal government? Thank you. Thank you for your question. Because of the COVID-19, many SMEs in service sector in Wuhan was suffered from this impact. In order to fully implement the instructions made by President Xi Jinping to coordinate epidemic prevention and control and economic and social development, we have rolled out a series of fiscal measures to the SMEs. We have established a dedicated fund to offer loans to the SMEs, totaling 2.0 billion yuan. And the Wuhan Local Financial Bureau also issued a special document to further interpret the anti-epidemic fund to the SMEs. So we will offer interest rate-free loans to these SMEs. And right now, we are increasing the credit line for the loans to the SMEs. Right now, the total amount amounts to 40 billion yuan. We are setting up this special fund to support the development of the SMEs. Also, at the same time, we are establishing an anti-epidemic fund to support the self-employed business, so that we will issue loans to these enterprises with interest rates lower than 1 year LPR. And we will do what we can to support the work resumption for these SMEs. And also, we will offer some incentives to the guarantee institutions. which are in support of the SMEs. The municipal government also issue the policy to regulate all of those guarantee institutions. So they will also offer a 1% interest rate subsidy from the city. At the same time, we are in line with the policies issued at national level. We will reduce the guarantee fee and the re-guarantee fee, and we will extend the repayment period for all of these enterprises. Thank you. Next question, please. With China Daily, because of the epidemic, SMEs are facing grave challenges in their operation. So my question is that what are some of the preferential policies that could benefit the small-scale taxpayers? Since the outbreak of COVID-19, CPC Central Committee and the State Council have rolled out a series of measures to support enterprises. In particular, they are offering a series of preferential tax policies to benefit the SMEs. So today, I will brief you on the preferential policies on VAT payment for the small-scale taxpayers. And also, at the same time, Wuhan City also rolled out a preferential policy to reduce the property tax and reduce the rental fees for the SMEs. In order to alleviate the burden for the SMEs, the State Taxation Bureau have rolled out a document that the tax rate for the small-scale taxpayers can be reduced from 3% to 1%. This is applied to the VAT payment for these small-scale taxpayers. On May the 7th, the Financial Department also issued the number 24 document so that the beneficial period can be extended to December the 31st. So by having this extension, it could alleviate the burden for the SMEs and the self-employed business in Wuhan City. It can improve the risk resistance for these enterprises. So for all of these regulations, it could benefit over 630,000 small-scale business in Wuhan City. At the same time, we earnestly implement the decision made by the CPC Central Committee and the State Council. The State Taxation Bureau Wuhan office also rolled out a preferential policy to reduce the property tax and the rental fees for the SMEs. Approved by the municipal government, the State Taxation Bureau Wuhan office has already made this announcement. For all the eligible self-employed business and the SMEs, the property tax and the land usage tax, as well as the rental fees, could be exempted in accordance to our regulation. In order to make sure that all of these preferential policies can be implemented, and to make sure that we can bring tangible benefits to the SMEs, the Wuhan Office of State Taxation Bureau is making good use of the big data to understand the situation, to make sure that all the taxpayers can enjoy the benefits. Thank you. Next question, please.
你好，香港大公文汇传媒集团记者提问。
With
为了扶持
Taikong,
遭受疫情影响的中小微企业持续经营，
in order
武汉
to
市近期
support
推
the
出了纾困专
SMEs,
项资金贷款的政策。
Wuhan
请问
has
目前
rolled
这项
out
工作推进的情况如何？
a special loan project. So I would like to understand the implementation of this policy. Thank you. Thank you for your question. At the end of March, we have started the process to compiling a list for eligible enterprises who can receive this anti-epidemic fund. The amount of required fund amounts to 54.1 billion yuan. As of today, over 12,000 enterprises have filed their application for the lending through HRT platform. As of now, we have already issued 23 billion loans and lendings to these enterprises. As of now, many banks are still working on the approval so that they can issue lendings and loans to the eligible SMEs. So now we could see we have increased number of applicants of the lendings. The newly increased lending amount has reached 23.6 billion yuan. And second, we have offered a premium interest rate to all of those lendings and loans. The average interest rate for these loans is lower than 1-year LPR plus 50 basis points. For example, the Construction Bank of China have offered loans with interest rate lower than the 1-year LPR. For the commercial banks, they also have very fast efficiency in handling all the borrowing requests. So all of these requests can be handled within 3 days. And for the majority of the applications can be handled within 1 working day. From the bank side, the handling time on average is within 7 days. On May the 5th, a series of authorities have started the work to receive applications of lending support from the SMEs. We will encourage these SMEs to use the HRT to make their applications for lendings so that we can bring tangible benefits to these enterprises. Thank you. With Voice of Hubei, as we are providing a lot of support to the SMEs, and we are also rolling out the special fund to support the small and micro business. I want to understand whether this amount of capital and fund can be used by the medium enterprises. So first of all, thank you for your attention to this policy to benefit the small and micro enterprises. My answer is that, well, this amount of fund can be used by the medium-sized fund. So actually, for this kind of fund was initially established in 2016. At that time, this amount of fund can be only used by the small and micro enterprises. However, in 2017, in order to lower the financing cost, we have extended the scope of this amount of fund so that the medium-sized enterprises can also use this anti-epidemic fund. So this year we are suffering from the COVID-19. So all these small and medium enterprises are eligible to get access to all of this capital. So by adopting this policy, so that we can streamline the approval process and also improve the lending efficiency for the SMEs. In the past, back in 2016, we could see, even though we can resolve some of the problems for the small and micro business, still we could see a higher cost for the medium enterprises to get financing. So that's why we have extended the scope for this project and this program. So now a series of banks are eligible to issue this kind of anti-epidemic fund to the SMEs. With the extension of the scope, so in the future we will have more banks joining this program. And also want to share with you some of the data. So from 2016 to 2020, the contingency amount of this capital reached 5 billion yuan, and it actually benefits 404 SMEs to get subsequent lendings. And for this year, we have issued 626 million yuan to 48 SMEs to help them tide over difficulties amid COVID-19. Next questions, please. So recently, we are hearing about the preferential loans issued by the government. I would like to understand the details about this program. Thank you. Thank you for your question. Start from 2014, the State Taxation Bureau and Wuhan office has been working with a series of banks to roll out the credit loan program. And also we have rate the applicants to different levels. So for some of the eligible enterprises, they do not have to provide guarantee in order to receive the lendings. And this year, we have done the following work. First, for SMEs who are badly hit by the COVID-19, we will target these enterprises and offer stronger support to them. And the second, we will adjust the level of credit rating to different entities. And third, we have extended the lending period. And fourth, we are conducting a non-contact taxation service platform so that we can improve the efficiencies for SMEs to receive loans. So I would like to use an example to explain this. And once we have a laundry enterprises, it has made a lot of contributions to offer laundry service to a series of hotels. And after we understand the situation of this laundry company, we are contacting the banks. Just within 2 days, the lendings can be granted by the banks to the laundry company. And the laundry company do not have to provide any guarantee to receive the lending. And this year, many enterprises can enjoy this benefit. Right now, the Wuhan Taxation Office has been working with 17 banks. Right now, we have already issued 3.8 billion yuan, and we are offering 3.4 billion yuan to the small and micro business. So we believe with the upgrade of our services, we will bring more benefits and financial support to the SMEs. Last question. With 210 daily, Wuhan has rolled out a series of measures to support the work resumption for SMEs. However, many SMEs are still saying they're facing a lot of challenges. So can you tell us more about this and what measures shall be taken to accelerate the work resumption for these enterprises? So right at the beginning, I have briefed you on some of the measures. Start from March the 9th, we have compiled a booklet and summarize all of the preferential measures to support the SMEs. We have keep updating all of these measures to provide support to the SMEs. On each edition, we have classified different national items and municipal items. So in the guidelines, we are also inserting a search function so you could understand all the preferential measures that serves the SMEs. So later on, we are rolling out 42 measures and accompanied with 42 lists. So all of these enterprises understand how and when to apply for all of those preferential policies. But you have made very good questions, because in Wuhan City, we have over 1.3 million market entities, and some of them may not have a full understanding about all the preferential policies. So in the future, we will do the following. So in the future, we will encourage all of these policies go to the enterprises, as opposed to the enterprises search for the preferential policies. So we will continue to post videos on new media platforms so that the enterprises can better understand what policies they could enjoy. And the second, we will make use of the telecommunication platform to send out text messages to the enterprises so that you could understand what policies they could use. And third, we will make good use of big data analysis and artificial intelligence. We will send out targeted measures, preferential measures to the enterprises, so these enterprises understand what exactly they can benefit from all of these policies. Thank you all for your introduction, and thank you for your questions. That's the end of the press conference. Thank you.